Hey, everybody. All right. So thank you very much for being on the replay since there isn't anyone here live tonight. I don't know what y'all are doing, but you should really, really work on being on the team calls. I do it every week. I carve out time to be here. Okay, moving on. We are going to talk about money mindset tonight. And I think this is probably something that's holding back a lot of people. And by the way, don't be concerned about me. I just got out of the shower. I did a vitamin C treatment on my skin, which is why it's all red. So is what it is. All right, so we're going to talk a lot about the thoughts that you might have surrounding money and maybe why you're not making any, or maybe why you're not making enough of it, or all the things, right? Because if we really believed truly and wholeheartedly that there was abundance here for us, not a whole lot would be holding people back every day from actually doing the thing that's required to generate income. Okay. All right. So the first thing, if you'll get a piece of paper out, this is going to be an exercise. So participatory. If you're, I don't really think just thinking about these kind of things is going to make a huge difference. I think you actually have to put in some work and write this stuff down and really get out of your head what's going on and put it on paper so that you can investigate it. And then quite possibly clear up some stories that you might be telling yourself surrounding money and its origins and its meaning and its implications so that you can start making more of it. Because I'm not sure if you're aware, but times are not awesome right now when it comes to the cost of products. And sales is not going to be a factor for some people. There's a whole population of people that the recession or inflation, none of that is going to matter to them because they just make so much money. Okay. If you're not one of those people, then you need to be paying attention to the stories you tell yourself around money so that you can make more of it. Because clearly, if there's scarcity, around your money mindset, you are not one of those people because those people don't have that problem. Okay. All right. So, first question I want you to think about is when you typically think about money, what feelings come up? So, since I'm the only one on the call, then I can go ahead and tell you what my thoughts are. And then maybe that'll prompt some, investigation internally for you too. When I think about money, what feelings come up is I feel excited. I do feel scarce sometimes. I think, oh gosh, every month we seem to, come up short or not really short because we have an abundance of money. It's just going different places. We don't have some of, and it's designed that way. We've designed our family budget so that every single dollar has a home. However, I would like the travel budget and the home renovation budget to be larger than it is right now. So I feel excitement. I do feel a little bit of scarcity surrounding it, like, oh, there's just not quite enough for X, Y, and Z. However, when I really rewind that in my brain, I think, but is there? Like, there actually is more for that stuff. We just have it going to this location instead, right? So in my mind, I want to make more so that it can still go to that location, but then I can put more towards the other budgets, right? Okay. So the second question I want you to write down the answers to, if you can, is what initial thoughts do you think about making a lot of money? Okay, I have amazing thoughts around making a lot of money. I have no drama around that whatsoever. I also don't have any misconceptions that everything is going to be better when there's more money because that's not true. Every level has a new and different devil. So if you think I'm going to be happy when I have a bunch of money, I'm going to be more successful feeling when I have a bunch of money, I'm going to like all of that is an absolute lie. You're still going to be a piece of shit if you're a piece of shit now. You're still not going to love yourself then if you don't love yourself now. You have to be exactly who you want to be with 70, 80, 90, $100,000 more. You have to be that person today. The money will not create that human for you. Okay. It'll pay off some debt, but if you're an overspender, you're going to be an overspender with a larger bank account to overspend with. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not disciplined in the monies you have now, you still won't be disciplined with a larger amount of money. So think of what the initial thoughts. I feel awesome. That's my initial thoughts is yes, please, let's do it because I am very disciplined in my spending. All right. Question number 3. What do you believe is an acceptable income for you and why? So my thoughts around acceptable income levels, that really teeters around acceptable. Like what would I be happy with? I think I would really be happy around 150,000 a year. I think that would be fairly settling for me. And in my brain, like that's what I can wrap my head around right now is around 150 to $200,000 a year. Um, that would be acceptable. Now, my stretch goal would be three or 400 for sure, but that sounds about right for acceptable for me. So, how do I feel around people who have a lot of money? I actually feel really energized by being around a lot of people who have a lot of money because I feel like the reality is there. Like they are living proof. And I honestly, I don't think I'm any worse than them. I don't think they're any better than me, really. I just think that they have developed the necessary skills sooner than I did. And they had, access possibly to more opportunities earlier than I did. But I don't think at all that they're better than me and that it's outside of my own realm of possibilities. Not even close. All right, question number 5. What are some thoughts you have had about people with money? So, we're going to talk about my thoughts now. Thoughts back when they were very, very different, right? So, the thoughts I have about people with money now is that they are some of the most generous people I have ever known. They give so abundantly because all of their basic needs and a whole heck of a lot of wants are all easily fulfilled, that they don't just hoard the money in their bank account like Scrooge. They give a lot of it away. They do some amazing philanthropic work. They're totally into all of the charities. I mean, they do some incredible things. All right, so question number 6. We're on question number 6. When you hear the word wealthy, what do you think of and what feelings come up? So when I hear the word wealthy, I think of sustainability. I think generational, and I feel hopeful that the life for my kids will be different than my life was growing up. I feel secure when I hear the word wealthy because wealth implies that you have a sustained course of income that you could pass on to the next generation. And it's not like I'm going to die with a whole bank load of money and then just give it all to my kids. That's not going to happen. But what will happen is I'm going to place to them a generational wealth knowledge of how to build it. So they should be set up in that way. All right. So, question number 7. How do your family and friends talk about debt? So, it was, I mean, you may or may not know this, but one of my biggest reasons for starting my network marketing company was because we wanted to get out of debt. And we needed to get out of debt because I wanted a kitchen remodel. And my husband wouldn't authorize a kitchen remodel until we were out of debt. And then once that happened, he didn't want to go into debt for the kitchen remodel. So then I had to save up the cash to pay for the kitchen remodel. It was a whole thing. I That was not what was sold to me when we bought the house by him. It was like, yes, we are going to get a home renovation loan and you're going to get your dream kitchen. And that's not what ended up happening. So, yes, we're still together. I didn't divorce him, but I was really not happy when he changed the rules of the agreement on me. But nonetheless, it was like, okay, well, here's where we are. I can't go out and get, $150,000 home renovation loan on my own. I haven't had a documented income in 10 years. Like, I have to have that. Hold on, please. Sorry, I thought that was actually my husband at the door, not my kid. They're supposed to be talking to their dad, but anyway, so where am I? How do we talk about debt? Well, for me, I talk about debt as something that we avoid. It's not evil or anything like that, but it is for me, if it's not business debt, it is irresponsible, really. I mean, I think you really need to keep your spending within what you're earning and trust and believe. I get it. People are like, yeah, but life costs more than what I have. Maybe, but I would urge you to really look at what you're spending your money on. And if you're not documenting it and you're not tracking it, I guarantee you don't have a clue what all you're spending your money on. Okay. There's going to be a lot of things you could cancel. Maybe you wouldn't want to cancel it, but I didn't ask you what you wanted to do. I said, what could you absolutely cancel and get rid of to save money in order to eliminate debt? So I don't really talk a lot of my friends are all debt free. A lot of them practice, proper savings. They practice investing. They budget, all the things. So I don't really talk to my family about money a whole lot because that's just, we're not going there. All right. So question number 8, is there a such thing as worthy debt? Why and why not? Okay. Worthy debt. Now, I would argue no, unless you are investing in yourself, in your business. And here are my thoughts behind that. A new couch. I would love a new couch. My kids have already ruined the new one we got a year and a half ago. However, that is not a worthy course of debt in order to replace the couch. And you can get couch. And if you're like, we legit have no place to sit, okay, but you can also get couches for free. A lot of different places, and you can get them very cheaply. So no, I would not see that as a worthy course of debt accumulation. However, if you have a course that you want to invest in, or you have business coaching that you want to invest in, or even if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, I really want to do what she's doing, but I don't have $129 to start a online wine business, then I'm like, get a credit card. I can teach you how to make that back in your first month and be profitable after that. Like, it's $129. If you don't have an extra $129 to do anything with, you need this more than anybody. All right. So there are worthy courses of debt, and I think they have to be in a means to produce more later. Like a couch is never going to make you more money. Okay. A new car is probably never going to make you more money. And a new bed probably won't make you any more money unless you're a porn star and you're doing something on it. Yeah. Just forget I even said that. All right, question number 9. Has an institution shaped your beliefs about money, politics, religions, etc.? How so? Yes. So we started our debt-free journey with the Dave Ramsey. He started out his whole thing with like envelopes where you would have a whole bunch of envelope system, and you would put how much are we spending on, I don't know, groceries. You would put cash in each envelope. But now that we live in a more digital era with money, you should track it. And we have an app called Every Dollar, and that's the app that we track everything on. We track all of our spending, and we have files for each, like miscellaneous. We have a certain amount set towards miscellaneous. So like I went and bought a curling iron today. Like that comes out of my miscellaneous budget. I didn't have to worry about spending the money because I already have a budget labeled miscellaneous and I know how much is in it. So I don't feel badly spending any of the money that we have because we've already budgeted for it. Before I even was like, oh, I need a curling iron because anyway, lost mine a while back. So that organization is what shaped my belief around money. The one part I depart from with him is that no debt ever, zero zip zilch. And I'm like, well, I don't totally believe with that. I think if you're investing in yourself and you have a very likelihood of earning more money, that goes back to the worthy debt question. So question number 10, name an experience or memory that deeply affected your view of money. So what I have fought against pretty much my whole life about my view of money was how I was raised. And if you're thinking, well, my parents, if you're thinking that your money mindset has been shaped largely around the way you were raised, well, you're probably right. Because I know mine was. My parents used to say stuff like, well, money doesn't grow on trees and you have to work really, really hard, and everything was a struggle, and we don't have the money for that. We can't afford that. I mean, that was just constantly like, we can't, we can't, we can't, we don't have, we don't have, we don't have. And you're right, we surely did not have, but you know what my parents did have? A lot of debt. My mom had a gambling problem, and my dad bought race car parts for, just cars that he built to race at the local track. I mean, they each had their hobby, and they were both incredibly irresponsible with money. So it was like tit for tat on spending. And next thing you know, they've got multiple tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. They had a mortgage that wasn't getting paid off very quickly. And it was a whole thing. So I grew up with an incredibly scarce mindset, really hating debt because of the trouble it caused in my family, what the trouble my parents' irresponsibility with the money caused for our family, and how much responsibility was placed on my shoulders as a kid to get a job, drop all my honors classes in high school, and provide an extra source of income flow so that my parents could pay our bills, so I could have a roof over my head. So yeah, my childhood greatly affected my money situation. So for the longest time, like I earned money where I've been earning money since I was 14 years old. I don't know that there was a time where I wasn't earning money, but I like held on to it very tightly. So that was something I really had to change. Was you have to let money go, for just the energetic flow of the world to bring that back to you. So that was a struggle for me. And I urge you to look at that and find out like what are those struggles for you. The next question is revisit that experience with your adult rational mind, take into context that other people had their money stories in this memory, and what is the truth and what lie have I believed? So, if I go back to the story about my parents, what is the truth is that my parents were very irresponsible. So, it's not that we didn't have money, it's that they were irresponsible with the money they did have. And the lie I believed for the longest time was that money was so difficult to make and life was really, really hard. And it is just that way for people like us. I don't believe that anymore because I am still who I am, right? 7-year-old broke ass little girl Tiffany who had, secondhand clothes and only bought new clothes once a year. And that was only a handful of them. She's still here, but whenever she starts talking and saying, you don't have this, I can say, yeah, I actually do have this. And here is my proof. I have budgeted it. It's right there. We don't carry a credit card balance. I know we have the money and I know that I continue to earn money because I'm pouring and mentoring into my team and into new teammates and into the world wide web on a whole. Like whoever wants to listen, I'm going to teach them all the things that I know and I'm going to benefit their life in some way. And if I really focus on benefiting other people, that benefit will come back to me. I know it. I don't need to do it with the like, well, it better come back tomorrow. Like I have no time frame for God to give me back a blessing. He doesn't even have to. I just know that for me, it feels so much better to give and that I always end up receiving as a result. But it's not an expectation. All right. So here are some action items for you. Get your piece of paper. I want you to write down your money story and be honest about its ups and downs. So how have you contributed to the problem? And is there someone that you need to forgive? And do you need to release someone else's opinions? I know that was a lot. So feel free to stop this and rewind and then write that stuff down again and then answer those questions. I also want you to write down a new and healthy money truth, a truth that you want to be part of your new money story. So I also want you to write down 5 ways that having money could bless the people around me. Okay. I'm about to make a reel for Instagram about the organizations that I give to every single month through my business. And that will really tell a story about the things that I value most and that how it could bless people around me. So, significant wise, I'm talking, our real estate investing business, being able to pour into that even more and then grow it much larger so that my kids can take it over someday. That would be incredible. And the money story I want to pass on to my family really is that there is enough here for everyone. We live in America, where it's really the greatest country on earth, even though insert all of the political drama and shenanigans within our country, we still have the best country in the world where if you want to succeed, you really have an endless amount of opportunities to do it. You might have to work harder for it because you are insert whatever you want. Okay. Everyone's going to have to work harder than somebody else. But that's why there aren't as many millionaires because you have to actually work for it. And a lot of people just don't want to work that hard. So there it is. Start understanding and developing what your story is with money, what your negative money mindset is. And then we really need to move over to the other side to get a healthy relationship with money. We have a few minutes, so I'm going to go through these. Please watch this as many times as you need to take notes and really work through this and put it down on paper. But what are your thoughts about generosity? What do you think about generous people? What do you think about you being able to be generous? And, even if you give a small amount, that's better than nothing, but being able to give to the level that you feel most aligned with. All right, so question number two. If you could be someone who wrote big checks, where would you write your first check? To who, why, and what impact would that have on them? So I don't know that I would write a big check to a human being. I think my first big check would be written to buy a piece of real estate. And what that would mean for my family was really moving our real estate investing business along. My network marketing business was supposed to be an income funnel for that business. But then, inflation happened. And and then my husband's income was, sorry, God, my hair is like crazy. I got out of the shower and I didn't comb it or anything. I just threw it up. So my husband's income turned out to like, well, actually, he needed to provide the money for tuition for we've got three kids in private school, which believe me, I know that that's a choice, right? It's a blessing, but we sacrifice for it. We work hard to be able to have those three kids in private school, and then I homeschool our other three kids. Um, with that being said, we have our two main driving vehicles. Those are completely paid off cars. We worked our butts off to be able to save cash to buy our last car straight out. So that would be my big check, would be the closing costs on a house, for our real estate investing business. So describe yourself as the person who isn't consumed or worried about the money. What would that look like? What kind of person would you feel free to be? So I would love to be the person that really that feels more free to actually go shopping and buy some decent clothes. You guys, this is one thing about me I am the absolute worst at, and it makes my husband crazy, is that I don't shop well. I mean, what woman does not go shopping well and can't come home with, 100, $200 worth of clothes easily? Me, I'm that person. I don't know if this is a worthiness problem or if I really am just funky with fashion. I don't know what my problem is, but I cannot do it. I ordered some stuff off Amazon the other day. I'm returning it. So I'm like, I don't really like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. My husband's like, yeah, of course you are. You never keep anything. But I really legitimately need clothes. But I am the worst. And I know you might be like, well, why don't you get one of those male things? Well, my problem with those is I'm like, those are expensive. And I just don't feel like the value is there for the amount of money that they charge. Anyway, whole other topic. All right, question number 4 to get to your positive money mindset is, what are 3 new beliefs you want to have about money? So look back to the very first question, what do you believe about money, like the negative stuff, and then let's reframe it to have 3 beliefs that you want to believe. Excuse me. Whew. 3 positive beliefs that you want to have about money. So for me, I want to really believe that money is not in short supply. I want to believe that money is easy to make, and I want to believe that money is going to continue to be a blessing to my family. All right, question number 5. If you had to believe that giving means receiving, how could you start giving today with what you have? All right, so I'll tell you a quick story and then we'll wrap this up. When I first started earning money with my network marketing business, like completely, all profitable, I was like, well, my husband said something about giving. And I said, well, when I make more money, I'll start giving. And he said, well, if you're not trustworthy with the little bit of amount that you earn, like what makes you think God is going to bless you so much that you'll start to make more money? And I felt incredibly convicted by that statement. And the point of his saying that was, if you have a little, give a little. If you have a lot, give a lot. But don't make, well, I have enough money for me. Like, okay, well, that's incredibly selfish. It really is. If you're not making any more money because you say, I have enough for me and my family to live, and that's it, I would urge you to maybe take a trip to somewhere else outside your own suburban neighborhood and look at the way other people live. There is a lot, even in the good old US of A, there's a lot of people that could use some help financially. And it's up to the people who are blessed with either energy to do the extra work or wits, intelligence, grit, drive, you name it. If you're blessed with the ability to do it, then you kind of have a responsibility to help provide for these people. I mean, if you are just, I don't give a shit about anybody, okay, we're not even on the same planet. I can't even align with you. Okay. So beep, just turn this YouTube video off and move on with your life. But for my teammates, like that's not who any of you guys are. And this is who this recording is for. I just put it on YouTube for whoever's searching the tubes and finds this and decides, hey, I actually kind of like what she's talking about. I want to learn more about that. And if you do, you can follow me on Instagram at Tiffany L. Wicks, or you can find me on Facebook, Tiffany Wicks, or you can just join my team at www.scoutandseller.com/Tiffany Wicks. Shocking, right? Not so much. All right, so 5 positive feelings you want to associate with money. So give me 5 positive feelings you want to associate with money. Here are my 5. Let's see if I can come up with 5 right off the top of my head. I want to feel abundance, peace, joy, acceptance, and love. I want to feel that this is a very loving relationship, but not like the pursuit and the love and the hunger is what overtakes my life. But just having the money, I'm able to love so much more abundantly because I can touch so many more people. I've never, ever, ever met a broke person that has done incredible good for other people unless they were in the clergy of some sort. Like they were a pastor, they were a priest, they were a monk, but just normal broke people don't have the wherewithal and the ability to look outside of their own Maslow hierarchy of needs to provide for anybody else. That's just me being completely transparent with you. That's the kind of thing I think about, is I want to be a person who doesn't have to worry so much about my own needs, that I can start taking care of others. All right. So there's lots of great positive affirmations I have listed here. I mean, there's like 35. I'm not going to sit here and read all of those because you'd be bored, but I will read the first 3. Okay. Number 1, money magnifies the person that I already am. It cannot change me. Number 2, money is a tool that allows me to make a difference in the world. Number 3, I can trust myself with a lot of money to steward it, invest it, and give it generously. I have 35 of these, you guys. That would be amazing, right? To have and just speak over every single day and to really focus your mind on. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here on the replay. Thank you if you're on YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please hit me up at the previous handles that I already gave you. So Tiffany Wicks on Facebook, Tiffany L. Wicks at Instagram, and I'll catch you guys later. See you, team.